Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie. Well, I'm coming on to share with you part 2 of the Rain Boot Tulips card processing. I had started the paper piecing, showing you how I inked and everything. Somewhere along the line the camera cut off, and so we're going to try this again. That's why this one is over here. That's the completed one. But I have printed paper and I have changed up the purple tulip to orange. So a little bit of a change there. I still have my white background piece. We'll be using that when we finish the card. So the tulips will not completely do the stems and everything, and you'll see as we go. But I'm going to just jump right in, and hopefully this will keep going. So if I kind of stop and look a little bit, it's to make sure that the camera is still going, because I'm not going to do this a third time. So anyway, we will get on with this. I am using a 5mm pom-pom, just a chenille pom-pom, or yeah, I think that's what they're called. To apply my ink here, I use Stampin' Up! Ink mainly. I do use some Distress ink. I have some Close to My Heart. I think that's it. I started out years ago with Stampin' Up! That's what I have, and hard to switch. I've thought about it. I don't know. So this one isn't real pronounced. Got glue and everything, and I'm good with that. Just a little bit more here on the ends though, and it won't be when you do it this way and I only do it because it's so incredibly tiny. I'm not going to try to do it with the sponge dauber. I have my other ink colors on my sponge daubers. I just use finger sponge daubers. I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna go with this. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm upset with the last video, so I gotta get on and get this done. Oh well, now I get 2 cards made, right? No big deal. Always a silver lining somewhere. Now I'm changing also the color of the boot this time. Going with the lighter colored boot as in the photo. And I do have, well, the first time I had the photo up in front of me, I think I know how to put it together now, obviously, but I did change, like I said, those colors, so I'm gonna go with that. Don't need this yellow anymore, but this is my darker yellow. I'm gonna lay this out of the way so it doesn't get full of pilling from my sponge daubers, because they I liken it to, you know, paper is from wood, and it really does a number on sponge daubers. So okay, come in with a peach color, which I also need for my tulips, and eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I had I had a sponge dauber out for them, so This won't be real dark on there just because the sponge dauber is dry, meaning it's a clean sponge dauber and they don't pick up ink as well. If you get too much ink on your piece or on your sponge dauber, I would suggest tapping off like this just to make sure you don't have a lot. As you can see, this ink pad is getting fairly dry. I will show you, I try to remember to show you in the with the turquoise that I do on the blue tulips. And if you're not sure what the color is going to look like on the piece, use a piece of the scratch paper of that color. It's a good way to look, and let it dry for just a little bit because it will dry a little lighter. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that was orange, yeah. I'm working around lights here, so doing the best I can to I thought I was going to drop that ink pad side down on the floor so I would have ink all over the floor. That would have been not good. Made a joke the other day that I was going to start taking photos of everything I dropped and share it with my physician, and maybe the one gentleman would get it that I really am dropping things all the time. But anyway, okay, purple. This, because this is, what do I want to say? The paper is so concentrated, the colors all the way through. These may not show a lot that I'm inking, and I'm inking just the edges. I forget the type of basil this is, but it's got a little bit of a shine, so I don't ink it very well. I just do the outside edges. And because these are just the polka dots on the boots, that will actually be quite fine. It will let the shine of the paper come through. And the shine of the paper may not be coming through real well on camera, but it's there. And that's how I can tell which side is which. Because normally Normally I mark the backs of all my pieces with either a pencil or a white gel pen, depending upon the color of the paper piece. I've learned to do that just for me, so I know what side is right, because what I do is I will often cut a bunch of pieces out, put them in baggies, and then when I feel like it, I'll paper piece, chalk them in paper piece. And that doesn't work if you don't know what side is which. So I started doing that when I was making candy canes one year. I couldn't get a candy cane together. Oh gosh, I was having such a struggle. And then I finally thought, why don't you just mark the back of the pieces so you know which side is which? And it helped immensely. So that's what I do. Even if it's obvious, I still do it because there are some pieces you never know. I'm purposely leaving the green till last, so. Okay, turquoise. I'm gonna bring a scratch piece of paper in here. This is fairly well inked, the stamp pad. I just tapped it on my ink pad twice. That's how much ink I have. I don't want that much on that blue because it will really, really pop, okay? So, I took a bunch off with my scratch piece of paper. I know this doesn't look very dark, but once I get the outside blue on, it will be a lot darker. So, and it may seem like I'm wasting ink. I probably am in some respects, but that's just how I do things. Part of it, I have a heavy hand, so that'll never change. I used to crinkle paper when I wrote, pen or pencil, it didn't matter. Teachers keep telling me, you gotta let up on the pen. I try, but nobody's gonna steal my pen from me. Okay, we'll make sure that was blue. And you see this actually does pop, and when you get the three pieces layered together, you will see more that it pops more. And it was more just to give it color, just a little bit of a dimension there. And there'll be another step or two we do with those tulips, so you'll get it all. Okay, now let's find pink. I'm so looking forward to some spring weather. We've had some and then it gets cold and nasty again, so maybe these tulips will, or this card will make me feel more like spring weather. Don't know what it is. I like crafting with tulips in the spring. I love tulips though in general. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment and I will get back to you. This might be a little bit darker than I had planned. I got a little bit too much ink on my ink pad, but that's all good. I did on the one there too, and they're pretty dark and it's come down quite a bit, so no worries. And I will get my two green colors and we'll start working on those. The skinnier the piece, the harder it is for me to get the ink on good. I should use a small pom-pom, but I don't always like to do that. I just used this scratch piece of paper. It works. I saw this being done, oh gosh, I don't know how many years ago on a Treasure Box Designs video, how they did this, and I've kind of always done it since. I save a lot of my junk mail if it's got a plain solid white on one side, and I use it for my crafts. So as you can see, I have my grid mat that I use from close to my heart, but I still put white paper down when I paper piece. Sometimes it's hard to see on the black mat, so I use a lot of scratch paper. Let's do the insides first. Apologize, I am so used to holding things right close to me, so I forget when I'm on camera. I gotta do it a little different. I do apologize. I had to make sure I did the outside stems of my last green piece. Whoops, and excuse my arm there. These pieces I don't do each individual blade with that piece of paper. You can, but oh no, I don't. You could also use a pom-pom to do that. Inking just takes time to learn. That's the best I can say for you. It's not going to happen overnight. And then I think, you know, it's only paper. If you're really not happy with it, you can start over. I've done that many times, so yeah. Okay, we're gonna do the dark part of the green and we'll start assembling. Do this a different way since it's just the actual edges, not doing the flat part. Go a lot quicker. If you can do a contrast color, light and dark, probably not the best way to one to use, but that's where you're going to get your contrast. If you're doing a lighter shading, flatter, and then a darker just on the edges. Okay. And if the grass gets where you've got too small pieces, I just will hit the tips and you still get a lot of contrast. So just a hint. If you guys like to see more videos where I'm just doing my inking and paper piecing and stuff, let me know. I can pop on. I just think you'd be bored with that. So, excuse me. I want to get some of that out of the way a little bit so it doesn't too bad on the back there. Okay, so this we'll use a little bit now, but the majority of it's going to come together when we put our card together, because it's, I don't know if I got that exact, I tried, but it's going to go on the back of the acetate so you can, so when you look at it, you don't see all of this stuff. You're just going to see this white piece or whatever color you chose to make it, and it finishes the card much nicer. So that's just how I'm doing it. But I'm going to start with my purple pieces. I'm going to get these tulips out of the way so you can see better, so you can see where I'm at here. I'm taking the pieces that are going to go along the edges and get those out of there first. I should have hopefully one more. There it is. This corner piece, I know it goes right up there. And I use reptile glue. It's very similar to art glitter glue. Thank you, Beth, for suggesting it. It just has more wiggle room, wiggle time. So, but I know that one goes there. I have not tried the Barely Art glue, so I don't know anything about that. Can't say anything. I used to use art glitter glue and nothing against it. It's just when it sticks, it's pretty much stuck. It's not going anywhere. So there's a tiny bit of a curve on these two half pieces, and they do fit the curve of the boot. So if you're wondering, it's kind of what I'm feeling for. This is, and they're designed that they just go right there. It's awesome. So I'm gonna put this on so I don't have any issues with overlapping polka dots. I got, just gonna place these on first to figure out where I know one goes down in the corner here. I don't want those exactly across from each other. Well, how in the world last time I ended up one short? I don't know. Leave it to me, right? I'll be finding a purple polka dot somewhere here before the day is over. Whoa. Too much glue there, just take it off. You could even use a patterned paper for your rain boot and then leave your dots off if you wanted. You don't have to put the polka dots on. I haven't decided. I'm gonna have to wait till this is all done. I like the darker yellow here, this one, but this one is really cute too. Okay, for the buckle, excuse me, I'm bringing my piece back in, lay this on here, and lay my buckle on, or the part of the buckle, so I kind of know where I want the buckle to go, this gray part. I'm only going to glue, for right now, just that little bit. The rest I can glue down as I need. Okay, that just helps me know where I want to put it. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue on. I'm sure you can't see, but the back side here a little bit. Sorry if my head got in the way there. It was early when I started. But, you know, this is actually the second card process video. The first one would not upload properly. I don't know what happened, but I just deleted everything. I think it was way too long. It was a much more involved card. So, okay, and I don't have glue on the very tip. Again, I want to wait until I put my complete card together, but I don't want my buckle to get lost either. So I have some idea where I want it to go. Okay. Now, excuse me, we're going to put the tulips together because we don't need that piece to do that. Tulip has 3 pieces to it. I'm just making sure. Okay, I want to make sure you guys could see what I was doing. So there are the piece that's got quite a few bumps on the back, and then the 3, and then just the eggs, kind of the egg shape I call it. And so the one with the most bumps on the back, top goes to the back, and these will just line up eventually. So these 2 outer pieces line up, and this middle piece lines up with that middle bump. Don't know how else to say it. My intelligent words there, but best I can explain. Okay, and there you have it for now. I'll be doing more with those. Again, that's the middle piece, the outer edge, and the back piece. Okay. This is a very simple piece to put together, I believe. You don't have eyes, you don't have, you know, nose and extra hands, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So, but I also realize that if you're a beginner, I've been there, these pieces can all be overwhelming. So, not trying to make light of that. The other thing that you probably see me using is my offset tweezers. Once upon a time it had rubber grips here. It's been well loved. I like the offset. I use the regular tweezers that how does it go? You push it to close it, right? This I have to push to open, so I think that's what it is. Either one work. I just have the best luck using the tweezers for these small pieces. Okay, I'm going to bring my piece back in only to figure out where my tulips need to go as far as how far down and stuff on the stem, and that's the only thing I'm doing. Okay, so This is just going to get a little glue dot here, lining it up with the background piece. It's hard to see, so I'm going to pick it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm not putting these in the boots yet. I could, but I just prefer to wait till I get the card put together. I'll show you, if you're not going to do the card the way I am, how it's going to go. But okay, blue one goes in the middle, and I have to think about this. Okay, it's going to line up. Yep. Again, it's hard for me, I apologize, to see white on white, so that's why I have to pick it up a little bit. If I have to trim a little bit off of the white piece before we're done, that's fine. Okay, and then we have this one. We're not done with the tulips yet, in case you're wondering. I'm sure you could see from the other design that not quite done. Okay, I'm going to set my white background piece aside. I still have my two pieces for my boots. Those I can do. Those I can put on. Bring this back in. I put some glue on first. I kind of know this, so it's the third. It's going to go like this, so it's the 1, 2, 3. This piece is, so I know 3 of the pieces I can put glue on the back to get the right side. I just put glue on the wrong side. It's been a morning, crazy as it sounds. Okay, let's try this again. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue just along the tip of the boot. So what I do, lay this here, and hopefully it doesn't stick on me after I get it lined up. Line up the boot. Take it off before it dries. Again, the only reason I'm using the shadow is because I'm making an acetate card. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it this way. But it's a good way to line up the grass because it's easy to get crooked. Okay, again, only using the first 3 and a little bit of this stem here, so I'm gonna put glue there and just on the corner of my boot here a little bit. Okay, line this up. Line this up. And it's not quite lined up at the bottom, so okay. I feel like it just moved. I'm just gonna double check here. Yeah, something did somewhere. I think it's going to be okay. So, what you would do, we're going to do the flowers. That's right. Sorry. I was worried about that. I should just pay attention. If you don't want to put the grass on yet, you can certainly wait until we put the card together. That's completely up to you. Let's get the tulips done and we can go to the next video, because I'm going to do the card process in a separate video. So I'm just putting some white pan pastels in the middle of my flowers, just on that egg shape, just to highlight it a little bit. Not necessary, just what I do. And one more step with these and then we'll be done. And again, you don't have to do the final step if you don't want to. And I think I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to do it once the card's all done. But what I did is I took Nouveau drops and I put the little dots on my flowers. This time, so I can go on to my next video. I'm going to wait and put these on when we're done, so I'll show you that. But I want to thank you for joining me for this process video, and I'll be back with part 3 very soon. Thank you.